I'm Dan, the CEO and co-founder of AutoAlign. We make generative AI safe and effective, and we've worked with some of the top labs in the world, including Jeffrey Hinton's Vector Institute, Joshua Benkia's Mila, as well as some other great institutions to make AI safe and effective. And oh boy, it is needed. So, State of the Union. This was a recent query where Google Gemini said that doctors recommend 2 to 3 cigarettes per day during pregnancy, and hopefully everyone in this room and the esteemed judges know that that's probably not the best thing to do. But when you start to translate this technology to use it in more complicated domains, hallucinations can be varied and very convincing. In a lot of enterprise use cases, there are serious safety issues around, of course, hallucinations, unpredictable behavior, safety issues, bias issues that make generative AI hard to deploy in enterprises. And there's 2 approaches generally to try to correct this. One is to fine-tune your models, where there's a risk of over-tuning and, of course, lobotomizing your models, making them very directed. The other approach is to use moderation endpoints or APIs or filters or guardrails to start refusing questions whenever you have some uneasiness around the topics, right? And there you're just sort of reducing the performance of your models. We took a third approach where we have a sidecar that works side by side with your model, and it can prevent issues, it can observe and see issues and shut them down when necessary, but it can also work alongside your models to mitigate those issues successfully and make the models safer, but also stronger and also more effective. We have a series of alignment controls that work out of the box, or you can tailor them. They range around things like data leakage, prevention, toxicity, jailbreaking, hacking, tonality. We also have custom ones where you can keep things on topic, for example, groundedness and fact-checking, which we'll talk more about. And we recently launched a white paper with some of our research where we could show that you can take any popular commercial model or open source model, put Sidecar beside it, and not just increase its safety, but also its effectiveness and performance as well. And we do that by actually correcting and helping to mitigate incorrect answers with Sidecar. We recently launched a collaboration with NVIDIA where they integrated us into their NeMo Guardrails platform, so you can now use Sidecar in that stack in addition to our APIs or our user interfaces. And today we're announcing AutoAlign knowledge bases, and this is the ability to plug in your documentation as an enterprise or general knowledge bases. They can be content repositories, they can be technical documentation, they can be even the internet, right, with search endpoints. We also are announcing consumer knowledge databases, and today our first one, we're excited to present our election knowledge database, available for everyone during this election season. So you can actually take this knowledge base and apply it with Sidecar to start to answer questions that traditionally models wouldn't answer or would be too scared to answer or would answer incorrectly, right? So for example, what's the right perspective on climate change? Most models would refuse to answer that type of question. We can now use Sidecar to coax the model to answering these correctly or factually to make them non-controversial. A recent CBS article showed that a lot of these trickier questions, all of the popular models either got these questions wrong or refused to answer. With Sidecar's election knowledge database, they can all work now perfectly. So we're excited about that. You can take questions that might be controversial and make them non-controversial and factual. For example, like, is Donald Trump a convicted criminal? Yes, he is factually. Whether he was wrongly convicted or not, or prosecuted, that's another story altogether, right? So we are excited during this electoral season. Please follow us on LinkedIn, where we have a series of events that we'll be hosting corresponding to the electoral season, so you can have real-time fact-checking, for example, and we'll be hosting these as with the first event starting next week with the Republican convention. So thank you, and please, of course, hopefully use generative AI during this electoral season, but be safe and informed when using it. Thank you very much.